Hey everyone, I'm Luke, and I did this project with Jonathan, Dominic, and Trevor, and we did the Nyiragongo volcanic eruption. So we're going to start with the where, when, and why. So this volcanic eruption occurred at Mount Nyiragongo. This is a composite volcano which is located on the eastern side of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So the actual eruption occurred on January 17th, 2002, and it started very early in the morning and lasted for about a day. Mount Nyiragongo is located on a divergent plate boundary. So this is where the African plate is pulled into the eastern Nubian plate and the western Somali plate. This causes lava to rise up between those plates. So the eruption was caused by the sudden movement of these plates. It was kind of an episode that came out of nowhere. And at the time, they didn't really have the precautions in place or anything to warn them about this. And this caused a fracture in the Earth's crust, which opened a fissure on the southern flank of the volcano, which allowed the lava to quickly rush straight into the city of Goma. So next, we're going to go into the human impact of the volcanic eruption. So the total amount of lives lost were about 200, and the leading cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning. The lava resulted in about 12,500 homes being completely destroyed. Almost 15% of Goma was covered in lava, and 33% of the city was just completely destroyed. Goma suffered from crops being damaged, as well as most of their livestock being dead. Goma also experienced water shortages for the residents, so it was pretty unlivable right after. Goma's economy experienced a pretty significant hit due to a lot of businesses needing to close their doors. A lot was destroyed, so they didn't really have anything to go off of right after the volcano. A lot of rebuilding needed to happen. And then there was a lot of looting in the town right after the eruption because many residents had to evacuate. So a lot of their houses were just left open for people to go in and steal a lot of their stuff, which was a big issue right after. So next we're going to look at some pictures. So this is the actual mountain or volcano relative to the city of Goma. As you can see, it's off in the distance there, and you can kind of see how the lava would flow right into the city. And then that goes into this next picture here. As you can actually see on this map, Mount Nyiragongo and the direction that the lava took to flow right into Goma. And then next, we're going to go into the environmental impact of the event. So the impacts were largely local to regional. It was Goma and the surrounding agricultural lands. It didn't really have a global effect. So all of the Earth systems were evolved. So for the geosphere, lava flows reshaped the terrain and engulfed buildings. As I said earlier, 33% of the city was destroyed. And then for the biosphere, there was crop destruction, animal destruction, the livestock was pretty much wiped out, and the forest ecosystem was very heavily damaged and destroyed. And then for the atmosphere, there's a lot of emission of volcanic gases and acid rain. And then for the hydrosphere, possible contamination of water resources with ash and acid runoff due to the lava flowing into the city, and the city being closely located to the ocean. So now we're going to go into the lessons learned and the new ways that they have been able to detect these events and be able to prevent them. So after the eruptions, the area decided to have a meeting to inform people about the hazards of living near the volcano. Before this major eruption, there were basically no plans or any signs, signals to tell anybody what to do during an event. They didn't really have any precautions put in place in case something like this would happen. So after this, they had some meetings and they put something in place and made sure everybody was educated on it. So more monitoring equipment was added so that experts would be able to predict when another volcanic eruption or incident like this would occur, so that there could be proper warnings, people could be evacuated, and people would actually be able to save some of their stuff. And then the area also got access to more communication systems after the eruptions, so civilians could be warned. Before this, for this eruption, they basically had no plans, no communication. They had nothing in place. So when this eruption started occurring, it was basically just absolute chaos. So they really needed to put like put more things in place, and that's kind of like this was used as a learning experience. All right, so now we're just gonna look at the sources here. This is what we use to get our information and where we got our pictures from. Thank you.